Then the soldiers led him into the courtyard of the palace, that is, the governor's headquarters, and they called together the whole cohort, and they clothed him in a purple cloak, and after twisting some thorns into a crown, they put it on him, and they began saluting him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" They struck his head with a reed, spat upon him, and knelt down in homage to him. After mocking him, they stripped him of the purple cloak and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him out to crucify him.
Who am I, that the crowds hiss and spit and bare their teeth? Who am I, that the whip cuts, that beam and rope and blood and nail bring such agony? Who am I, that the soldiers kick and strike, that draws the vultures in the dawn sky, the scent of blood to desert dogs? Who am I, that I go alone towards this hill with none to stand beside me? Who am I, deserted by those I loved and need in this hour? The hands that held, the faces that laughed, the lips that kissed. Who am I, that I crawl defeated on this jagged road? Was it all for nothing that I bear my cross in scorching heat and burning thirst? Who am I, disfigured beyond recognition, as skin grazes, blisters, bleeds, and dust and sweat clog eyes and nose? Who am I, that they will remember me when I am gone, with voices that will speak of my deeds? Who am I, that he asks, "Are you King of the Jews?" If you have said so, then so I am. But you who stand and watch and stare, gloating, mocking, jeering, weeping, you, who do you say that I am?
Oh, I remember him. Who am I? You don't know my name? Yeah, that's good. That's very good. I prefer it that way. Easier for both of us, I think. Sometimes it's best just to keep quiet. I hardly appear in the story, and I can disappear when it's necessary. I knew them all, of course. Peter, James, John, all the rest of them. I'd seen them about. I make it my business to know. Information is very useful to some of my clients. Information is power. I'm a go-between, what you might call a fixer. I can arrange things, make things easier for people, get them the things they want, or arrange for things to vanish if needed. He wanted a room, see? Needed somewhere quiet in Jerusalem. Somewhere he wouldn't be disturbed. Somewhere quiet in the middle of Jerusalem at Passover. That's going to take some doing, I said. Had to be hush-hush, see? A secret code. I was to meet the people he sent on ahead. They would know who I was, as I'd be carrying a water jar. I came up with that, see? Most blokes don't carry water jars, but in the bustle of a Passover crowd, people wouldn't notice me, except the ones who were looking for me. He thought it was a good plan. I found them their room. Very nice it was, too, up above the crowds, away from prying eyes. He needed that, see? Needed time with his friends. I didn't know then, but he needed that time to say goodbye. I showed his disciples where it was. They had a code too. They asked the landlord, "The teacher says Where is the room where my disciples and I will eat the Passover meal? That way, he'd know they were genuine. You see, it seems to me he left nothing to chance. The same thing had happened earlier when he took the donkey. They'd had a code then. The master needs it and will send it back at once. Like I say, I'm a fixer. I understand these things. I could see the way his mind was working. He spoke to me in a language I understood. I thought that when I met him. He is a man I can do business with, a man who knows the ways of the world. The thing is, you get kind of hard-bitten in my game, a bit cynical. Most people are out for what they can get. Most of them are trying to get one over on you. It's easy to spot them, the con artists, the hustlers, and the downright stupid. I can tell the mugs straight away. I've been doing this a long time. But he was no mug. He was genuine. And as I say, I don't meet many genuine people. And I only met him that time. That's my regret. I wish I'd had more time. We always wish for things when it's too late. The next time I saw him, I was crushed in a crowd of screaming voices and raised fists. And there he was. But this time he was being dragged by Roman soldiers. This time he was covered in open wounds. This time he was carrying a wooden crossbeam. I saw him fall. He fell right in front of me. I tried, but I couldn't get there. I couldn't help him. The crowds, the soldiers held me back. Like I say, I'm the go-between. I help people smooth their way, make things happen. But now there was nothing I could do. I was powerless. And it didn't feel good. God, if only he'd spoken to me earlier, perhaps I could have done something. Maybe found him a safe passage, called in some of the favours owing to me. A few words here, the odd bribe there. I could have got him out. Again they dragged him to his feet and pushed him on to that hated place, on to the darkness. The crowd moved on, but I just stood there, staring. It was quiet now. You'd never have known anything had happened apart from a few dark patches on the ground. A wind blew up from the east, and I could see the storm clouds begin to gather. He was gone, and I was left standing beneath a darkening sky. A fixer who couldn't fix.